Hi everyone, welcome to the third class of Business Model Canvas. We are going here today to explain you how to build your own business model canvas and to introduce you some useful tools to complete this process. Okay, let's go through the slides. First of all, in this unit, you are going to build a problem definition canvas. This is very important because it is the first step that you need to give in detail about the problem analyzing process. And what are you going to learn as well? You are going to learn how to define a model of a business strategy and how to identify a problem that is worthy of being solved. Okay. Let's continue with this image here, a purpose business model solution pyramid. Okay, we in the center have the why question. Okay, always we have to start with the why question. Why is our vision, our destination? Okay, we are now in the point A. We want to go to the point B. How and why? First of all, why? Sorry, why in terms of definition of your values are how is going to be your vision, okay, and why are you want to go from A to B. Then if we follow the second cycle of this, the second sphere is how is always related with a strategy, all the routes, all the means of transport, how we are achieve our vision with what, with our product, our service, okay? And the product is going to be our roadmap. And remember that this roadmap must be repeatable, scalable, okay? This is our mission as a startup. Before explaining you what is a business model canvas, how to fill this useful tool to do your business, your startup, we need to know some terminology that we are going to see now. First of all, we are going to know what is an MVP. MVP is the minimum viable product. This is a small feature set that gets to the most orders, learning, feedback, early failure. Are the minimum things that we are going to build to test our hypothesis and to validate our beliefs, to transform it into facts. It could be a landing page, it could be some minimum little prototype. If we have an app or a product, we'll see later about that. But it's the minimum features that are going to give us the information that is going to allow me to go forward or pivot or go back, etc. Then you can ask about your technology. No, technology is one of the many critical pieces necessary to build a company. This is true, no? And this is part of the value proposition. But customers don't care about your technology as they are trying to solve a problem, okay? Then a company, as you know, is a business organization which sells a product or service in exchange for revenue and profit. And then it's interesting to know how our companies organize. Now, companies are organized around business models. This is one thing that we are going to learn today, how to fulfill our business models. And what's a business model? A business model describes all the parts of the company necessary to make money. That's why it's very important, because as we will see later, with this tool, we can have one image a very useful tool to give us information of the every parts, every features, every relation, everything I need to make money, okay? And why we use this canvas, the list canvas? Because it's important to describe, challenge, design, and invent business models more systematically, okay? And now, for explaining you How is the business model? I'm going to show you one image, okay, that is here. Here is a business model canvas. I took one because this is an example with Uber, because it's an example that everyone knows, okay? And this is a business model canvas with all components and all the parts, okay? We have the right parts described here, okay? The customer segments, value propositions, the channels, and the customer relationships. We are going to see now each part, what that means and what have we to put in every part to fulfill our business model canvas, okay? Customer segments. Customer segments are from who are we creating value. For me, is the first step. You have to think about that, because if you don't know who are your customers, how they think, what they see, how they feel, what they do, you are not going to be able to offer them a value proposition, a proposition that really has value for them. And it's very useful to spend time investing in our customers, doing interviews, observing the market, and researching for some information to know if we are addressing to a mass market, or maybe we are addressing to a niche market, or we are segmented, diversified, multi-site platform, okay? This part of customer segments is very important, not to know. Here, with the example of Uber, well, they put drivers, people who want to earn money driving, and then riders, people who need a ride, okay? In your case, you have to stop and think about, okay, who are my customer segments, okay? Then, if we continue, we have the value propositions. The value propositions are which one of our customers' problems are we helping to solve? What bundles of products and services are we offering to each customer segment? Which customers' needs are we satisfying? Okay, is in the center of the canvas, okay, are the product service things that we are offering to our customer. But before knowing that, it is very important to invest time here knowing our customers, because a lot of times we ideate a solution without thinking, without emphasizing, without putting in our customer shoes, and without knowing really what are their needs, what are their pain points. And if we need that, we know that, we are going to be able to offer a value proposition. In this case, with the example of Uber, we can offer anytime, everywhere, because I know that people want this, various levels of service, and money when you want, low cost luxury, this is way around, a platform to connect riders with drivers, okay? Then these two things are the first things that you have to do when you start doing your business model canvas. It's very vital. Later, I'm going to explain you a very useful tool for doing that part, okay? But before that, I want to continue explain you the business model canvas. If we continue with the right parts, we have channels. What do channels means? Channels are through which channels do our customer segments want to be reached? How are we reaching them now? It's very important because once we have identify our customers, develop our customer segments, our value proposition, okay, how can we connect them? How we are going to achieve them? How are we going to integrate them with customer routines? Okay, what are going to be the channels? It's the link between customers and our value proposition. In this case, an app. Okay, they decided to do an app. Okay, we continue. We have customer relationships. This is another important part, is what type of relationship does each of our customer segments expect us to establish and maintain with them? Which ones have we established and how are they integrated with the rest of our business model? How costly are they? It's very important as well, the customer relationships to analyze. Now, in this case, with the Uber, continuing with this example, is rating system. Okay, they want to relate customers doing this rating. Okay, we have this part explained it. If we go ahead and look to the left parts of the business model, we have revenue streams, key activities, key resources, key partnerships, and cost structure. Okay, revenue streams. Revenue streams are for what value are our customers really willing to pay. That's very important, you know. For what do they currently pay? How are they currently paying? How would they prefer to pay? How much does each revenue stream contribute to overall revenues? Okay, we have here revenue streams, search pricing, dollars, kilometers, or mile. You have to decide. Then we have key activities. What key activities does our production or platform require? Okay, in this case, in the Uber example, they need to do operations, they need hiring drivers, marketing and ads, and platform development and maintenance. Okay, in your case, you have to decide, you have to know what are going to be your key activities for all this model, all this right part could work perfectly and could generate revenue streams. Okay, then we have key resources. Key resources means what unique strategic assets must the business have to compete. Maybe you have physical, intellectual, human, financial. Okay, here with Uber they have more technical, private network, brand, talented employees, different key resources. Okay, then we have key partnerships. What can the company not do? It can focus on its key activities. Who are our key suppliers? Okay, in some, depending on your area, key partners are a very important part, because here, for instance, you have investors, market companies, payment processors. Without these key partners, Uber could not work, and it's very important to think about them and to have them into account, for building all our business model. And then the cost structure. What are the business major cost drivers? How are they linked to revenue? What are the most important costs inherent in our business model? Here, okay, if we think in our structure, we have to take into account the employee payroll, the driver payouts, the legal fees, marketing and ads, tech platform, etc., etc. This is a very useful tool to have in one view what things we have to achieve, what we need to do. But remember that the first part are to link our value proposition with our customer segments. Without this, we can continue doing the other parts, because if you don't know which customer segments are you going to address, are you going to focus on, then you are not going to be able to know what are you going to offer to them. Okay, and then if you don't have a value proposition, then you are not going to have any customer relationships, channels, etc., etc. Okay, these are the two most important parts, the starting points to build the whole business model canvas. And before continue, I want to show you a brief video that explains you a tool that it's called Value Proposition Canvas, that explain you how to connect the customer segments, what my customer needs and gains and pains, what they want and what they are the pain points. Because once you have identified all those parts, you are going to have an advantage to list all your value proposition, all your guesses, all your things that you can provide to your customer. Let's see this brief video, okay, and then we will continue explaining more things.
Every day, companies design products and services to improve their customers' lives. But 72% of new product and service innovations fail to deliver on expectations. This means that customers don't care about 7 out of 10 new products introduced to the market. It doesn't have to be this way. Just like you create value for your business with a business model canvas, there is in fact a tool to intentionally visualize, design, and test how you create value for customers. It's called the Value Proposition Canvas. The Value Proposition Canvas is composed of 2 parts, the customer profile and the value map. With the customer profile, you describe the jobs your customers try to get done. Jobs can be functional, like getting from A to B, social, like impressing friends and colleagues, or emotional, like gaining peace of mind. You highlight your customers' pains, which annoy customers while trying to get a job done. Pains are negative outcomes that customers hope to avoid, like dissatisfactions with existing solutions and challenges, frustrations, risks, or obstacles related to performing a job. And you outline customer gains, which describe how customers measure the success of a job well done. Gains are positive outcomes that customers hope to achieve, like concrete results, benefits, and even aspirations. Use the customer profile to visualize, test, and track your understanding of the people or companies you intend to create value for. It's a map that becomes clearer the more you learn about your customers. The second part of the canvas is the value map. With it, you list the products and services your value proposition builds on. You describe in which way these products, services, and features are pain relievers, how they eliminate, reduce, or minimize pains customers care about, making their life easier. And you outline in which way they are gain creators, how they produce, increase, or maximize outcomes and benefits that your customers expect, desire, or would be surprised by. The value map makes explicit how your products and services relieve pains and create gains. Use it to design, test, and iterate your value proposition until you figure out what resonates with customers. You achieve fit by creating a clear connection between what matters to customers and how your products, services, and features ease pains and create gains. Great value propositions target essential customer jobs, pains, and gains, and do so extremely well. Your customer profile may contain countless jobs, pains, and gains, but your value map highlights which ones you intend to focus on. But don't forget, an outstanding value proposition can still fail if your business model is flawed. Successful companies embed outstanding value propositions in scalable and profitable business models. Use the value proposition canvas to create products and services that customers want. Get started at strategizer.com.
Okay, as you have seen, with this tool, you are going to be able to list all your customer. First of all, you have to start with this cycle, with the customer part, listing all your customer jobs. As you have seen in the video, the customer jobs are all the jobs and tasks that customers are trying to perform or complete, problems they are trying to solve, needs they are trying to satisfy. You list them. Then we are going to go through to the pains, negative emotions, undesired costs, undesired situations. We list them. And then the gains, outcome of benefits your customer expects, desire, or would be surprised by. Okay, this is very important to spend time doing that, because this part is going to allow you to build your value proposition, all your products and service doing fit with your customer jobs. No, what is your value proposition is built around. Okay, you have to know what are your customer jobs, and then what assets, what characteristics, what extra things could your products and service have to reliever, no, pain relievers, to turn out this pain off, to turn it into a positive thing. Know how your products and service relieve customer pains before, during, and after getting the job done. What should you do to stop your customers complaining? Okay, because you have here a lot of things identified, then you can think what pain relievers, things, complements, and other things that can help to your products and services relieve your customer pains. And the same with the gains. Now, if you have identified all the gains of your customer, then you could make your products or your services more appealing with a set of gain creators. Gain creators means how your product services create customer gains. What will your customers brag about? Okay, and that's all about this tool. And if we continue with the slides, once I have explained you how is the business model, we are going to talk about pivot. Okay, pivot is the change of one or more business model canvas components. Okay, what can motivate us to pivot over one component or more than one component? No, the heart of customer development, iteration without crisis, fast, agile, and opportunistic. Okay, could be those reasons that maybe make us to pivot. Pivot is to change something. If we're starting, for instance, an app of a movie, an app of seeing audiovisual content, maybe with our investigation and doing research in our customer jobs, we see that's not is not what they want, and we can change it to another area or another thing. Maybe another channel, or maybe we can change pivot. Pivot is to change. No, maybe we can change our key partners, etc. And then the pivot cycle is the speed of cycle. Minimize cache needs. Okay, minimum features that speeds up cycle time, and near instantaneous customer feedback drives feature set. Okay, it's very important to understand that we are doing a startup. We must to be agile, and we must to be fast. Okay, pivot fast and learn very, very fast. Okay, how can we pivot our business model until we can prove that it works? Okay, first of all, the first thing, as I explained you before, is that you need to discover your customer. Okay, once we have discovered our customer, we have to validate it. Okay, make those experiments, make those hypotheses that give me information, data that I can be sure that it's a fact and it's not only an hypothesis. Okay, and then if I'm not right, I have to pivot and repeat until it's proven. And this is how it works now. Repeating. Startup is about doing, learning, repeating. Doing, learning, and if I'm right, I'm going to go out. If I'm not right, I'm going to go back. But this is a process of continuing learning. And as well, this is a process of discovery. No? For instance, you have here an example of a web startup. They have some state hypothesis. They do a test problem. They build an MVP. It could be a landing page or something. They test this MVP, and for instance, you can test your MVP doing a landing page, and if you don't have visitors, or maybe you can put an email for asking or requesting to your customers to write you an email, but if you don't have any answers, then maybe you have to pivot because they are not interested on doing that. No, and you can verify that maybe you are not doing the right thing, and you have to pivot, and you have to do another thing and verify and test it, and then verify, and you have to do this all times that is necessary until you have all the results that confirm you that you are right. Okay, then if we talk about This is agile problem, agile methodology, as I told you before. Okay, it's always like you have to document, identify, understand the problem, define the solution, validate, verify. No? And that's how we can continue. The red bars are the ones that we cannot validate until we have all things validated and in a period of time. Okay, and for conclude this class of a business model, we have to start with these two parts. They're very important: the customer statement, who do you help, and what do you do, the value proposition. Okay, we have to connect these two. The first thing is to connect these two parts. These two parts first. Okay, then we have to think about, okay, once we have done this, what are going to be the distribution channels? How do you reach them? How are we going to reach our customers? And then how are we going to interact with them? No? To understand the relations, the customer relationships. How do you interact? Then you are going to work with other partners, and you have to think what are going to be your key partners, key activities, how do you do it, who will you help you, and key resources, what do you need. For what? Finally, it's very important, no? How much will you know, the revenue stream is very important, and the cost structure. Okay, have to do finally a balance, the cost and our gains, to know if it's worth it to invest in this, in our project, in this startup. Okay, now before doing that, we have to be sure that we are asking and that we are addressing to the right thing. And how can we be sure about that? We can be sure doing this activity that is called a problem definition. Okay, this is the first step before anything that is going to allow us to put in the context, to be sure that we are asking the right questions, to have the right answers. Okay, and I'm going to explain you this canvas, the problem definition canvas. The problem definition canvas, you will see 5 columns with some questions. Okay, and how are you going to proceed? Okay, defining a problem is a deceptively simple task. Okay, what at first seems to be the problem is often merely a symptom of a deeper problem. This is very important because sometimes we think that we have think right of what's our problem. What we know, we have to go deeper, to know if this is really our problem that we want to solve. And for that reason, we have this canvas, this tool that works to both open a problem up, presenting it in a way that we examine from a number of angles and help define the wider context and associated issues involved. Okay, this canvas is particularly effective when trying to focus a team of people on the key problems at hand. This tool has been designed to structure the analysis of a particular problem in a way that makes good use of your time. It introduces a small set of key criteria by which an issue can be articulated and assessed, okay? Which makes the activity highly efficient. It also gives you a standardized way to compare several different problems, which might seem to be very different on the surface. Go through the problem definition worksheet individually on your small teams and reflect on a specific issue you have identified, exchanging thoughts while writing down your notes. notes. It's very important, always with a post-it or with a paper, writing down your notes. The key aim here is to capture, compare, and discuss different viewpoints of the problem. You can then review the notes and discuss with your team's members whether you are making the same assumptions and whether you are framing things in the same way. This exercise may lead you to reframe the problem you initially address. For example, what happens if you see older people as having capacities rather than needs? Reframing problems in such a way can offer clues to how the solution can take shape. Working on a problem definition worksheet with not only your team members but together with other stakeholders will usually bring up new contexts. For instance, working with service users, staff, or volunteers may provide a slightly different angle to the tool than when working with managers or entrepreneurs. Feel free to experiment and rephrase questions in the worksheet to keep them relevant in such situations. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much and see you in the next class. Bye.